Who do you think you are? Who do you say you are? What do you say about yourself? That's the important part. When you are saying what you say about yourself, do you realize that it's so much more valuable than anything anybody else says about themselves? You know, you that know my story know that other people said so many things about me that one day I decided that their things were lies. Are you telling yourself lies? Many times, what's happening is this: you're repeating what somebody else says about you. You know, there's this song, Mr. Big Stuff, who do you think you are? And that is an important factor. It's an important factor in life. When you start to tell yourself who it is that you want to be, it starts out with that. It starts out with, who do you want to be? How do you want to express yourself in the world? How do you want to be known? What is it that you want to be known for? And then you start to examine the parts that are on the inside of you. And then you realize, wow, I am more than enough to be able to do this. You stop looking at the words, I'm not enough, and realize that there is more than enough on the inside of you to accomplish anything that you want to accomplish outside. You have to become big on the inside. You have to become confident from the inside out. And when you do that, as you do that, each time you do that, each time you remind yourself of that, what happens is your brain starts to expand. You begin to upgrade your brain. You upgrade your life. You upgrade your thoughts. You know, here it is. You are the only thing, you are the only one that can make you upgradable. Nobody else can do it. Actually, no one else can put you down where you have to stay down except you. Just imagine how much power you have. You have the power on the inside of you that can help to explode in this world, the world around you. How big are you thinking, excuse me, about yourself? How valuable do you see yourself? What is it that you see that lets me know, my gosh, I have become so much. I have become so much of this person that it's overflowing and I must pour it out to others. I must share myself with others. I know that in my life, when I was coming up and most of my life, people tried to shrink me. I wanted to be shrunk in size because I was fat. I mean, you know, I remember when I was 330. I remember when I was 330 pounds. Them thighs would be shaking together. These things would be doing it. I mean, it would be rubbing. It would be, you know, I mean, you know, baby powder was a dream. All these things were a dream because it was miserable in the summertime. It was even worse than that. But that's just a side story. So that's shrinking. But what happened is this. I'm telling you this, my body, I started to shrink as my insides and my abilities, as I saw them, the picture that I had of myself became larger, my body became smaller. What happened was this, is that I stopped putting stuff in from the outside in order to make myself feel good. And then what happened is this, I started to see the picture of who it is that I am. And what happened is I found out I did not need so much food, so many things to have me as a false feeling. I did not need all of those things to make me feel better or to numb me. Many times, what happens when you do not think that you are enough in order to really be able to share, to be able to release, to be able to give, to be able to be a force in the earth, what happens is this: different types of addictions happen in your life. Different things happen. You use this in order to hide this. So what I'm saying is this: it's time that you come out of hiding. Who do you think you are? Who do you see yourself as? How do you see yourself? When you see yourself as being so large on the inside, that what's in you, that there are people out there that are waiting, that there are people that are needing what it is that you have. You know, there's been a lot of tragic things that happened in my life. And I have gone through these things, and there is a difference between happiness and joy. It's not that I laugh all the time. I do have to laugh at myself. I do have to correct myself. I do have to look at these things that I have done to myself. You notice that I didn't say that somebody else did them to me. When I figure something out, when you know who you are, number one is that you own who it is that you are. You own it. You own up to your mistakes. You own up to your thoughts. It's called being honest with yourself and honest with God. When you're honest with yourself, you can be honest with God and honest with people. So what does that mean? What does that truly, truly mean? What that means is this: when I'm honest with myself and I know that I've made a mistake, I know that I exaggerated, I know that I've lied, I know that I've done this, whatever it is that you've done in your life. And then what you do is you fess up to it. I had a challenge, inner challenge actually this week. And one of the things of it is this: this was a challenge that we didn't have anyone to show up, new people to show up or whatever it is. And people that are in my boot camp and stuff, these are the people that were there. So what did I decide to do? I decided that here, this is a time for me to help them to upgrade their brain. This is a time for me to give them more than I could have ever been able to give them. And that's the normal challenge. What I did is I took the opportunity. I'm taking the opportunity in order to help to expand, to magnify, to help people to excel in the areas that they need to excel. I did not take this as a failure. What I took it was another opportunity, because it meant that there was growth that I need in another area of my presenting myself, of my having it where people know who I am, of I have it who people trusting me, of having it while people look at what it is that I have to do. I mean, I have to say. So what it gives me the opportunity to do is to fine tune how I interact with others. I like the critiques. I like people saying, this made sense to me, but you went off on this. I couldn't understand what it was that you're saying. Your words were not clear. This was not clear. Because a lot of times what happens with me, it might happen with you also, is that my mind runs faster than my mouth. And so all of these things, I mean, you got to realize I have over 60 years of doing this. I mean, 60 some odd years, 60 some years of doing this type of thing. So there's so much in me until, I'm my head is going and I want to get all of it out. I want to give the people all of these different things. I want to give them the knowledge. I want to give them, the support. I want to give them answers so that they don't have to go through some of these things that I went through. So what happens is this: I make the mistake sometimes of not interacting or not being clear. And where I'm not clear, it's confusing to other people. I don't want that. And when I hear someone tell me that, I'm saying, thank you for it. So I own up to it. And then what is happening is this: I learn what to do from the experience in which I have just gone through. So that makes me think differently of myself. How is it making you think about yourself? Do you own up to your mistakes? Do you see that mistakes are an opportunity for you to investigate? A mistake is that opportunity for you to think good of yourself, and then to even think better of yourself. And you say, you know what? I made that mistake. I blew it. So I own up to it. Can't you see you're able to raise your chest and you're able to see that you didn't blame somebody else for something that you did not do? Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Thank you for that. I mean, if politicians would do that, we'd have a different picture, but they're not made for that. But you're not that politician. You're not those people. You are someone that can help to change the way the society, to help to change the way your spirit influence interacts. When you think a lot about yourself, then you're not ashamed of the mistakes that you've made. You don't point your finger at somebody else. You point your finger at yourself and you say, you know what? I blew it. And when you're able to do this, then you look at yourself and you say, wow, that felt good. I was able to expose it so that no one can blackmail me. Nobody can whitemail me. Nobody can yellow mail me. Nobody can do anything because I owned up to it. And what happened with that? Jim Quick has this thing that he calls OLD. Number one, the way I say it is different from him, but I got the acronym from him. And it's own up to the mistakes, own up to whatever it is. And what will happen with you is that you will feel better about yourself. And then the L is learn from what it is that you blew. Learn from your mistakes. Learn to be able to make the changes and the adjustments that are necessary. So even as I'm learning, then I'm learning to make the changes, to do what is necessary. And in that, I feel like, wow, I have more on the inside of me. You start to feel better about yourself. Why is that? Because you don't have to remember what it is that you said, because it is true. So that you're living a life of trueness. You're living, that's my word, so it's probably not in anybody's dictionary but mine. But at any rate, you're living a life where you're true to yourself. And when you're true to yourself, you start to like yourself a whole lot better than you did before. The other one is the D, and that is do it differently. Now make adjustments. Here it is. Okay. I've owned up to my mistakes. I've owned up to the situation. I've owned up to where I am. I have located myself. I've done all of that. The L can also be for locate. I've learned to locate myself, to locate where I really, really am. So that now here it is, I can work on getting comfortable with that feeling. Okay, I blew it. This is what happened, but I owned up to it. Now I'm locating where I am, where I truly am. See, most times what happens in life is this: people fake it. They pretend that they're in a place. They pretend that they're teaching you something. They pretend that they care about you. They pretend. They have never truly, came to the place where they own up to the mistakes. They learn to analyze. They learn to look at it. They look at their mistakes. They admit their mistakes and they grow from it. And then the other part is that they learn to do something different, to do it differently because they've analyzed it. Things that I did before, things that we've done in this business, things that I've done in my practice. There's certain things that I will never do again because I found out that they were not helpful. I found out that sometimes they were hurtful. Sometimes people did not understand. Sometimes I was not clear. I found out all of these different things. So I found that I need to make adjustments, even in titles, even in the way that we send out information. Right now, we are doing things differently so that here it is, we can feel good about what it is that we're doing. We realize that the people that we're interacting with, that these are special people, that these are valuable people, that each and every one of them have value. They have worth. They know who they are. They have a weight about it. They have a purpose that they have for their life. And if they're going to take what it is that I'm saying and implement it in their life, then it has to be of quality. It has to have value. It has to have worth to them. It has to be something that they can take and that they can realize that if I do what it is that is being said, then I know that it will work. You see, the things that I give you are, number one, they're biblical principles. Number two, I'm not giving you anything that I have not done myself and that has not worked for me. I am not giving you something that I read in a book, something that somebody else told me, something that somebody else tried. I have, over the past 60 years, worked these things in my life, and oh baby, have I blown it. I have made mistakes. I have failed. I have fallen. I have done all of those things, and then I had to relook at it. I have spent thousands and thousands, maybe even $100,000 doing things and investing in things and buying programs and doing all of these different things, investing in myself so that I can invest in others. And I am finding things that work. Right now, I'm making adjustments, just like you are probably making adjustments in your life, in order to shape it so that people will be able to take the information, have it so that it is followable. That's my own word, followable. You're not going to understand it. If you understand everything that it is that I have to say, then it doesn't matter. You're not going to grow at all because you're already at that level. But the steps are followable. My coaches, as I said, Myron Golden is one of my coaches, and so much that he said is like whoop over my head. But when I do what it is that he says, I'm not going to question it. Number one, I know his ethics. I know his integrity. I know that he has done the things that he is telling me to do, or telling us in our group to do. And so therefore I go forth and I do them. I do them with confidence. Why? Because I know it's not theory. All right. The things that I'm telling you are not theory. These are things that actually work. These are tools that are actually workable. These are things that if you work it, am I going to say that you do this the first time and oh my gosh, everything is going to blow up and it's going to be so great for you? No, it is going to take work. And when you do this, the only time that it doesn't work is when you don't work it. When you don't work it, it's saying, I don't feel valuable. I don't feel worth it. I don't feel like I deserve to have changes, to have differences in my life. So the question started out, who do you think you are? Okay, Mr. Big Stuff, be Mr. Big Stuff, be Mrs. Big Stuff, be all of that kind of thing. Who do you think you are? Talk to yourself about who you think you are. How do you really see yourself? I've talked in other videos about mindset. How do you see yourself? That's really what I'm asking. That's really what you need to ask yourself. How do I really see myself? Be honest. Get your pad, get your pen, write these things down. Talk to yourself about it. Why do I feel this? What is going on here? What is going on? By the time you do that, what you're going to have is a picture of what it is that you truly think about yourself. And then you're going to realize, wow, I am more than enough to be able to do this. I really do have value. I carry value. I am valuable to myself, and what I have on the inside of me to share with others are valuable. And so when you realize that what I have is worthwhile, so it's worth something and it has value, because of who it is that you are. Integrity. When you live a life of integrity, what you release to others is worth something. It is valuable to them because you have spent the time to test it out. You have spent the time to use it and to do it yourself, and it has made marvelous changes in your life. So do the steps that I've just given you, whether you understand them or not. They're moral, they're ethical, they're biblical, they're righteous, they work. And I guarantee you that your life, your picture of your life will change and it will grow. Your mind will grow, your brain will expand. And once it starts to expand, it's going to get in the habit of, I want to get bigger. I want to get bigger. I want to get bigger. And it's going to get into that place where, as Dr. Amen called, brain envy, mind envy. You're going to want to have a greater brain. You're going to want to have a greater mind. You're going to want to upgrade it. You're going to want to do all these things that are healthy for you. And the healthy for you does not mean the healthy that these people talk about. Oh, I want a healthy life, which I don't even understand what that is. What I mean by healthy is this. I mean helpful. I mean expanding. I mean appreciative. I mean what it is livable. What it is alive. What it is that you are able to walk in a way and live in a way that is pleasing to you in your sight. This is something that fits well within my paradigm. This is how it is that I want to live. I can look at people all around and I don't have to be ashamed because I know who I am. I know how I feel about myself, and I know the worth that I have that I'm willing to share with others. So that's all I have for you today. I will see you. Remember, like, subscribe, share, do all those YouTube type things that people do. And I'll see you on the next video or on the next X or the next whatever all of those social media type things are. Thanks for joining me. Bye bye.